Hi everyone, I'm Susanna Hornbeck with 1040.com, and today I wanted to hop on and talk to you about how to fix your rejected tax return. I know having your return rejected can be a scary thing, but actually rejected returns can be super easy to fix. I also want to assure you that filing does not cost extra. At 1040.com, it's just $25 to get your taxes done, even if you have to refile a rejected return. So let's walk through the process from start to finish, beginning with your rejected return alert email. So you should have an email that looks like this on the left. If your federal return was rejected, any state return you filed will also have been rejected. Once you log back in, you should see an explanation for why your return was rejected. You can see that here on the right in the highlighted portion. Today, we're focusing on prior year AGI and IP-PIN rejects. Let's talk about the potential issues and how to fix them. To start, let's take a look at prior year AGI. Prior year AGI is the number in 911 of your 2020 tax return. So how do you access that? Well, if you filed with 1040.com in 2020, you can go to My Account and access your 2020 tax return from there. You can see it highlighted on the screen. Now, if you didn't file with us and you don't have access to your 2020 return, you can go to irs.gov and set up an online account. The verification process takes a little time, but once you're set up, you can look at your 2020 tax return. So now that you have your 2020 AGI, simply enter the correct number and refile. Your tax return should be accepted soon. So what happens if you still get rejected after directly copying your AGI? First, let's make sure that your 2020 tax return has actually finished. See, the IRS is still processing millions of 2020 returns. So if yours has not been approved yet, the IRS won't have anything to match for prior year AGI. So to see if your 2020 return is still processing, log into or set up an online account at irs.gov. View your tax records and look at your 2020 return status. If it is still processing, your prior year AGI will automatically be 0. As you can see, when you go back to 1040.com, you'll just put $0 for prior year AGI on your 2021 return and refile. That should do the trick. Now, before we move on from AGI, let's talk about the non-filers interpayment info portal. This portal was set up so that people who aren't required to file a tax return could still claim their 2021 stimulus payments, and it looked like this. As per the IRS's request, anyone who used this tool should put $1 for their prior year AGI. So when you head back to 1040.com, put $1 for your AGI and refile. That should take care of your rejected return. So what happens if you try all of those things and AGI still isn't the problem? Let's look at identity protection pins. Getting an IP pin is optional for anyone who has not been a victim of identity theft, and it's automatically mailed to victims of identity theft as an extra layer of protection. Regardless of how you got your IP pin, you must use it when you file your tax return to avoid being rejected. So if you know you have an IP pin, make sure you select yes on this question in the 1040.com walkthrough. Now, maybe you know that you have an IP pin and you either don't remember it or you lost it somehow. No worries, just go to irs.gov and go to the Get an Identity Protection Pin page. You'll hit the Get an IP Pin button and it will pull up, after you verify your identity, the page that is here on the right. You will be able to see your 2022 Identity Protection Pin. Remember that IP pins are reset every year, so the IP pin that you used in 2021 is no longer valid. You want to use your 2022 Identity Protection Pin. Now that you have your IP pin, simply enter it on the screen that follows prior year AGI and refile your tax return. It should be accepted soon. Now, before we wrap up, I'd like to make a quick note for those of you who used the Pay with Your Refund service, eCollect. When your first return was rejected, the eCollect payment was canceled. So the $25 filing fee for 1040.com and the additional but optional $24.95 service fee were not taken out of your refund. Now, when you go to refile your tax return, you will have to redo the eCollect service and payment. Since the first payment was canceled, you won't be paying twice. So that about wraps it up. If you still have questions, we'd love to help you out. Just log in and go to the help menu to access live chat. Our support team is waiting to help you get your tax return refiled and accepted. We'll send you an email with our support info so that you have it handy. That about does it for us. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day.